Swadika, welcome to Thailand Today here on NBT World. On March 26, 2018, Digital Economy and Society Minister Piche Durongkaweerot has presided over an opening ceremony of seminar on smart city and urban innovation, future trends of global cities at Sanantara Siam Bangkok Hotel. The events are jointly organized by the National Innovation Agency, the Digital Economy Promotion Agency, and the Australian Embassy in Bangkok. Keynote speaker is Vienna's Vice Mayor Maria Vasilako, who has presented smart city strategy at the seminar. Minister Piche said under the government's Thailand 4.0 policy, Bangkok, Chiang Mai, Phuket, and Khon Kaen, including of three Eastern Economic Corridor provinces, will feature prominently in the Smart City program, with a focus on the advancing cross-border partnerships for sustainability in 6 key areas: the economy, governance, people, living, mobility, and environment and energy. He added Smart City Vienna is an example of the best model of smart city, as it has been selected the city of the best quality of life for 9 consecutive years. Meanwhile, Vienna's Vice Mayor Maria Vasilako has mentioned the mission statement Smart City Vienna. She said it is a long-term initiative by the city of Vienna that looks at a cross-section of the city, covering all areas of life, work and leisure activities in equal measure. Includes everything from infrastructure, energy, and mobility to all aspects of urban development. Smart City Win defines the development of a city that assigns priority to and interlinks the issues of energy, mobility, buildings, and infrastructures. Mr. Thirasak Tikayupan is the mayor of the Khon Kaen city, has revealed that Khon Kaen Municipality is planning to develop smart living in all the new 7 districts. The creative areas projects include Sijan area, Bung Kaen Nakhon area, Bokhoso area, Bung Thung Sang area, Mueang Mai area, Khon Kaen University surrounding area, and Tutor Street area. He said the project would be a joint cooperation between Khon Kaen Municipality and Thailand Creative and Design Center (CCDC). Mr. Thirasak said GDP of Khon Kaen is better than the average of GDP of Thailand. Khon Kaen is a promising city with a significant service and trading services, especially online trading. He said the city has become more and more investors from both Bangkok and abroad. At present, there are also consulates from many countries in the province, including Consulates Generals of China, Laos, Vietnam, and Honorary Consul General of Peru and France. The mayor said Khon Kaen has important various factors for investment, such as geographical center, logistics service, medical service, education, and commercial. Digital Economy Promotion Agency (DEPA) Director Natapon Nimman Pacharin has led a press tour to visit 3 pilot smart cities in Phuket, Chiang Mai, and Khon Kaen. He said the concept of the 3 smart cities is smart tourism, focusing on intelligent operation center, city data platform, and city security platform. He said, however, Phuket is now targeted to be a city of sustainable tourism, with operations of city data platform, smart safety supported by sandbox and CCTV. Meanwhile, Chiang Mai has been promoted to be a city of smart agriculture, and Khon Kaen as a city of smart health and medical hub, supported by smart ambulance and teleconference technology. Director Natapon said the government plans to raise the number of pilot smart cities from the current 3 to 7 next year. He added that Smart City scheme, part of Thailand 4.0 initiative, will expand to Eastern Economic Corridor in Chonburi, Rayong, and Chachoengsao, plus Bangkok. He said the development of the 3 smart areas in the EEC is a part of the government's Smart City roadmap that started with Phuket as a pilot scheme in 2016, followed by Chiang Mai in early 2017 and Khon Kaen by this year end. Smart cities aim to integrate digital technology in energy and support and transport to improve quality of life for residents. Smart city transformation is a full swing in Asia Pacific region, with the major economic, social, and environmental implications. In line with the Thailand 4.0 policy, the Thai government has validated its potential of carrying out a smart city transformation and leveraged emerging technologies and innovation to make cities more livable and the residents looking forward. Today our program will lead you to Khon Kaen province. We will talk about Khon Kaen Model, to one of the most outstanding smart city projects in Asia. Coming back after a short break.
In 2019, Thailand is ready for ASEAN chairmanship. working together and building solidarity to increase competitiveness and innovation with the people at the center. All sectors are ready to promote unity of the ASEAN community. NBT World is excited to be a full supporter of the Thai ASEAN chairmanship. Keep up to date on ASEAN 2019 movement with NBT World.
Welcome to Thailand Today here on NBT World. To better understand the models of the Khon Kaen Smart City, we will talk with Associate Professor Pirasit Kumnuansil. He's a founding and former Dean of the College of Local Administration, Khon Kaen University, and Dr. John Draper, Director of Research Group of Local Affairs, Administration and Smart City Development, about Khon Kaen models of the most outstanding smart city projects in Asia Pacific. Sawadee ka. Welcome to Thailand Today program.
Thank you very much.
Right here in your university.
Nice meeting you.
Well, sir, when in hearing about the Khon Kaen model, one of the most and outstanding smart city projects in Asia and Pacific, so excited to hear this because, it's out here in Isan, and I feel that. So can you tell me, maybe one of you can tell me, who's the brainchild of this? Why did you come up and thinking about this matter?
Okay, so the history of the Khon Kaen Smart City dates back several years to the idea that Khon Kaen needs to have its own infrastructure development plan. So Khon Kaen is perhaps the center, or certainly a very large city in northeast Thailand, and we decided that we would develop our own transport infrastructure. So it was guided by the idea of people, local Chinese Thai businessmen, business people, and they set up their own think tank in order to how to analyze the problem of developing local infrastructure. Municipal governments developing their own infrastructure in Thailand is relatively new because Thailand is so centralized.
Exactly.
So most planning for infrastructure, transport infrastructure, is usually done through the provincial administrative organization. So, but in this case, about 5 years back, these Chinese Thai entrepreneurs who were coming out of, for example, the Chamber of Commerce of Khon Kaen, had this idea of developing their own transport infrastructure plan. So this is why they set up a think tank to look at the issue, and they decided that they wanted the same kind of opportunities that Bangkok has in terms of its own light infrastructure, light rail infrastructure. And so the first question was, how can we actually do this in terms of cutting through the red tape? Because this is a big problem. And the route they took was to study the other smart cities globally in order to better understand how they had done it. And the pattern that they found was that in order for municipalities to move ahead in centralized countries, you have to develop your own municipally owned corporation. So the city developed its own commercial sort of think tank, and the idea of that corporation is to then you get the freedom to do things like public-private partnerships. So this developed about 5 years ago, and it's taken several years to get through the red tape, but now we're successfully on the brink of developing our own light rail transit system. And so this will then drive development in other sectors of Khon Kaen.
Very interesting, really. So people may like to know, because we are already in a foreign country, may like to know what is actually the smart city.
A smart city is any urban area where you are feeding information through electronic devices, so ICT or the Internet of Things.
Electronic devices.
Yes.
And then?
Well, the information could come from citizens. It could come from sensors, for example, air or water quality sensors. It can come from other devices that you embed in things like bus systems or taxi systems. And then this information is then channeled into a smart city operations room. So there has to be some facility in the city, in the strategy and planning part of the city, where the information comes in. And then, of course, you can use that information to develop policy. So you have a roadmap. Smart city should have a roadmap, and it should be a holistic roadmap covering as many areas as possible of city governance. And so then you can start to change things in the city. So what's happening in Bangkok and what's happening in Khon Kaen right now is we're using artificial intelligence, and we're using human beings working with artificial intelligence to change traffic flows. So this is important in order to try to increase the rate of traffic and how fast traffic moves through the city, and also to eliminate smog or reduce the level of smog.
How about way of life of the people? We'll have to do accordingly, change?
Well, at some level, yes. I mean, a smart city covers smart environment, smart economy, smart living, smart people, smart mobility, smart governance. So it is comprehensive. But we aim to improve, for example, the quality of life for people. And you can do that. So in some areas, we've opened up the center of Khon Kaen. We now have improved the public park at the center of Khon Kaen. And we're trying to encourage, for example, you have these Chinese bicycles, electronic bikes, e-bikes. So we're trying to encourage that, and we're trying to improve the health of the population. So you're collecting data on the health of the population, and you're looking at how can we improve the health of the population. So we're also working in areas like green markets. We're connecting green markets to our green open spaces. And this is in order to face up to some of the major problems that Thailand is experiencing, like the population, aging population. So we're collecting as much information as we can about the health of people. We're working with local hospitals like Khon Kaen Hospital and Srinagar Hospital, and then we're getting the data from that and saying, okay, we need to give this community exercise machines. So all this is being directed. It doesn't come out of the air.
That's right.
It's being done by policymakers at the city level.
And that's more interesting because Khon Kaen University coming into it, you're the core of doing it or what?
It's a partnership. So there is a model. There are models for how the public sector, private sector, academia should work together. So obviously all three sectors should be working together for the maximum good effects, positive benefits for the people. So traditionally we call this the triple helix model, and universities have this responsibility, and they develop, for example, some of the technology. So KKU is we're doing that. We have very good engineering and technical faculties, and we do our own sensors. So we develop our own sensors. We work on things like solar energy here. And this feeds then into working with industry. So we developed our own smart buses. So we have a smart bus system now for Khon Kaen, both for Khon Kaen University and for Khon Kaen City. So there are synergies, and we're working together. And we're also working with the Chamber of Commerce. So we're developing the idea of public-private partnerships. But one of the roles of Khon Kaen University is to engage with the theory. So, for example, I just told you about the triple helix. So, academia, public sector, private sector. But there are also more advanced models that more advanced democracies in the West are using that we're trying to develop here. So, we have extra sectors you can work with. So, we have the people sector. So I think we all agree that it shouldn't just be academia, public sector, private sector. We should also be working with the people sector, civil society, local media, national media. And in addition, we should be working very closely now because of the problems of things like global warming, because of problems like particulates and water quality and plastics in our water. We should also be working to improve the environment. So this is the idea that a city should be livable, a smart city should be livable, and it should be a healthy place to be, not a cause of pollution that then can harm the health of the people living in the city, because then they'll no longer want to live there. They won't want to have their children living there. And this is a problem that's affecting Bangkok very seriously right now in terms of the air quality.
Oh, wow. So sound like you must be very proud of the second Bangkok here in Khon Kaen. What are the main objectives, sir, of the Smart City Khon Kaen project?
Well, Khon Kaen City is just like any big city in Thailand. It's fraught with all the problems. And people in Khon Kaen know that we cannot tackle all the problems all at once. So we figure out, where we should start and where we should start first. And so we know that we want to create a place that is more livable. So this is the goal and objective of our Khon Kaen Smart City model. But to begin with, we would be focusing on solving the congested traffic problems of Khon Kaen.
Is there already traffic jam here?
Oh yes.
Really?
Yes.
I have not encountered that yet.
But particularly during the rush hours.
I see.
Yeah.
I see.
And so the first component that we will be working and try to accomplish is what we call smart mobility, meaning that we want to make the life of people easier, reduce the problem of traveling from one place to the other, reducing the amount of travel time, and also, that would have what I would call the impacts of reducing or improving the air quality, because when the traffic problem is less congested, it also it will also minimize or at least reduce the problems of air quality.
Air quality. So what are the major components of this smart city Khon Kaen, Mr. John?
Well, like I said, we're looking at smart environment, the economy.
Three parts.
There are 6 parts. This is the classic model of a smart city. And we're lucky, we're fortunate at the moment, because we're working with the person who developed that scheme. It's actually a gentleman called Dr. Boyd Cohen.
Okay.
And he's an American, but he's in Spain right now.
Okay.
And we have a relationship with him. So obviously that helps, because we have a smart city guru working with us.
Yeah.
And he's interested in Khon Kaen because his wife is actually from the local area. So
Khon Kaen lady.
we're using all the contacts we have.
All the resources. Yeah.
Local resources. So that's we're following the traditional 6 components, and like I said, we're lucky to have experts working with us on that.
But you must have a proper strategy.
Oh, we have a roadmap. We have a very comprehensive roadmap. And the roadmap goes up to 2029, so it's a 10-year roadmap.
20 years from now?
Yeah, that's 10-year roadmap. And that roadmap includes a full system of light rail, so multiple lines, not just one line. They've got about 5 lines in the plan at the moment. So it will depend on the success of the first line, obviously, but success breeds success, and we're hoping over 10 years we'll be able to develop a satellite system. So the idea is we are in we are trying to build Khon Kaen up in order to avoid urban sprawl. So we have the problem that cities just grow outwards. So we have made the rule that Khon Kaen has to grow upwards within the bypass road area. So we are trying to grow up in that region. And the way to do that is to develop satellite communities so that workers and citizens can work in these satellite villages or towns around Khon Kaen, and this will decrease the problem of there being too many people in the city, or decrease the problem of urban sprawl.
What's actually the population here?
Well, the registered population is actually quite small, about 140,000. But the actual population, because it's a university town, because it has so many schools, the actual population in the area around the city is around 1 million. So it is a big population.
So when you talk about congestion of the traffic jam and all that, I was surprised because it's not that big.
That's new. 10 years ago there was no congestion, but we do now, and it's a serious problem.
Yeah, the certain thing that you already mentioned already started in that we cannot see it around. It's moving up.
The provincial administrative organization approved the light rail last year. So the idea is that we will begin building that this year.
Oh, okay.
So that took around 3 years to cut through the red tape. So it's not easy to get something like this done in Thailand, and especially because we were the first outside Bangkok to try going through this idea of a municipally owned corporation. So we are a pathfinder there. And we are in a loose network with around 7 or 8 other cities, Thai cities, who are studying how we have done it because they want to replicate the basic idea. But we do have smart city facilities that you can visit. So we have smart traffic lights like in Bangkok. We have a smart waste-to-energy plant. We have a new MICE center for meetings and conferences. And that uses That's a smart building. So that's designed to reduce electricity use. So we do have a number of smart facilities already up and running in Khon Kaen.
But we love to hear from Professor Pirasit on what the important projects to promote smart city to add up what is Professor John is saying.
Yes, as I mentioned before, we will be starting with the smart mobility.
Mobility first.
But please note that there are 6 components of smart city. Those, as John mentioned, smart mobility, smart education, smart health, smart environment, smart economy, and smart governance. We think that starting all these 6 components are related in such a manner that it form a system, a coherent system, what I would call a system dynamic, a model. That meaning that when you start with one component, it will have it will also lever the changes in other components. So, eventually we will be working in all 6 components. But at the moment, we start with the smart mobility. But as currently the problem, the what I would call the emerging or the pressing problem now is the air quality. So that would become into the forefront of our attention. So we would be working to tackle with the problems of
the environment.
Environmental problems. So already it's shifted from smart mobility to be paying more attention on the smart environment.
Right.
Yeah.
But presently you are free from the what you call the pollution and all that.
No. It's we're in the orange. So I think there's a you have a green, yellow, orange, and red. So we're in orange.
I see.
We're almost at the moment because of 3 main problems, which are the burning of rice. So this is
Did you do it?
Yeah.
well, actually, it's usually quite good. It's not as bad usually here as it is in the north. So in the north, it's the world's worst city, Chiang Mai, right now. But we also have this problem in the northeast, and it's so there's this dry cutting problem with the sugarcane. They're burning the sugarcane. And like I said, there's this problem of trucks that go illegally through the city. And so because Khon Kaen is succeeding and growing as a city, you have these side effects, like so pollution is an unwanted side effect. So this is really local people and central government policymakers are beginning to see how it fits together.
Okay, we're going to come back.
Yeah.
We're going to come back and hearing about of this and also give us some example of the best model that you can see that. All right. So we are coming back to the end of the first part of the interview. So we'll be coming back with more details on the smart city and project. Please stay tuned. Welcome back once again to our program. Now it's time to focus on the specific details of the model. So let's see, we have Associate Professor Pirasit Kumnuansil and Dr. John Draper. So gentlemen, tell us about what we need to hear actually, because there must be some other model that you bring into your example for this.
Right.
Can you tell us about it, please?
Yeah,
Portland.
The best one.
I personally, under the auspices of COLA, took a group of the local businessmen and local administrator to Portland, in the state of Oregon, to learn about how the city, which has been known as one of the best smart city in the U.S., developed and how the program works. And so we learn, we have learned a lot from them, and that's from the operational side. But from the academic side, we also have professors who come from Portland State to come to lecture at our college. So we do learn from Portland.
When we talk about smart city, to me, I think the whole city, the whole province, or just a batch out.
Okay, that's a good question. Normally when people talk about smart city, people who heard about the term smart city think about that will only benefit the people who live in the city. But that's only a myth. It's not true. The ideal smart city should be that the smart city should be the city that when it's developed, it will provide benefits to all people who live both within the city and outside the city. For example, when we want to make a green city and a livable city, we expect that there will be more tourists who come to visit the city, and more businessmen will come to work and to invest in the city. But then we have to think about where do we get all the green and the food products from, and so we would actually help stimulate the local economy surrounding the city, and of course under the notion of developing the smart environment, we would have to also work with the farmers to create what we call non-pesticide, organic vegetable, and those organic food would be certainly
gastronomy
would be in high demand. And in the end, the people who live outside the city would benefit from the smart city as well.
Why not smart province?
Well, that's the strategy that we try to work.
Expand.
With the governor to solicit his support. But in fact, he has been very supportive of us, because he also smart enough to know that this is the benefit will be for all people who live in the province.
That's very
so
interesting.
you can scale smartness up. So Singapore has a smart nation concept. So that's smart from birth to death. So
from every nook of corners, that you have to be smart.
Yeah. And you can scale down, and that's when we start talking about smart communities. So a community can be anything from a district down to a village level or neighborhood level. So the idea is to make every aspect of governance in Thailand smarter than it is now.
Professor John, can you tell me what is the significant characteristics of the Smart City Khon Kaen project? Characteristic of it.
Okay, so what we're working on, as Dr. Pirasit is saying, is smart mobility. Smart mobility for us exists at two levels. So we have smart mobility at the local level, and the idea is something called transit-oriented development, TOD. Transit-oriented development is the idea that if you build better infrastructure, transport infrastructure, you will attract more business. As obviously the line itself, people will be going through your city. If it's more efficient to travel through your city, they'll be wanting to come through your city. So what we're doing is we're working with satellite municipalities around Khon Kaen, and that is where we are developing the 5 basic links through the light rail system. And that should get workers into the city and out of the city faster, reduce pollution, make the city and the local area more efficient, and save time. But at the regional level, there is another level of transit-oriented development as well. So Khon Kaen is actually in the middle of something called the UNESCO Super Corridor. And the UNESCO Super Corridor is the north-south, east-west highways and rail links that are connecting southwest China down all the way to Singapore. And then if we go east from Khon Kaen, you get through Laos to Vietnam, west through Khon Kaen, you get into Myanmar and then into Bangladesh and India. So this is the idea that Khon Kaen in the future could be a dry port. So people are transporting container trucks already. We have container trucks going through Khon Kaen on the way between Laos and down south to Bangkok and then further south. So we're already part of this kind of Belt and Road initiative that's being developed by the Chinese. And also at the regional level, we are upgrading our airport. So Khon Kaen is already an international airport, and this is new. This is again new development, but we're building additional terminals now, and Khon Kaen will be a full international airport, and that will then plug into the Chinese Belt and Road initiative. So there is this there's this core that by better developing transport links, we will grow the city, because we're not a great tourist magnet like Chiang
That's
Mai.
what I was about to ask you this, because hardly see any activity or a festival or anything much in Khon Kaen. People just, it's a pass-by city, right?
We do occasionally during the Khon Kaen festival that we attract people from other parts, the tourists from other parts of the region.
You know, Khon Kaen only saw Khon Kaen only. Saw
But Khon Kaen festival is quite a big thing.
There's the Silk Festival.
Yeah,
The Silk Festival is
also
an international festival now, so people come and they present for their wares.
Once it becomes smart city, we'll be much more. We'll be gaining more. You were talking about that.
Yeah, well, we're focusing on the MICE aspect, so the meetings, incentives, conferences, so on. We're more of a business city than we are a tourist city, but obviously we want it to be a more attractive place for visitors to come, because then they might spend an extra day or two here and that boosts the economy.
So in here, province, was a smart city going to be already selected area, which is an area, a particular area that you're going to use? You're already chosen, right?
It's for the 5 cities.
It will start within the Khon Kaen municipality, and in partnership with the 5 surrounding municipalities.
I see.
Which is quite a good strategy, because finding partner, that's the most important strategy.
It is,
So just to give you an example of how that works, our waste to energy plant involves other municipalities. So we did the contract through a public-private partnership. It's a long-term contract over about 20 years. And so this is a successful business that has now appeared there that involves the municipality as a co-owner of the business. And we are now importing waste. We're importing waste from other municipalities to burn through this.
Using the
waste to energy plant. So this is, it can generate up to 10 megawatts of electricity. And this is based on the Swedish model. So the Swedes have used high technology waste to energy plants to burn all of their garbage. And the Swedes are now importing garbage from other Nordic countries because they don't have any more garbage.
That's another trouble.
So this is an example of how we're working with the local municipalities, and we're spearheading this. We're driving this forward, and we're making the opportunity work with other municipalities in partnerships. So we're having to create draw up legal contracts that develop a network of municipalities that together can do major projects that one municipality alone can't do. So this is new, and we're not relying on any funding for central government. We are relying on external investors, and we're also offering preferential shares to citizens. So citizens can buy shares in the businesses that we're developing.
So how do you going to implement the whole framework? I mean, which part first? I mean, making tram first, or what you call the electrical to get rid of the communication, whatever.
The idea was to do the light rail first, because it's taken several years. We've actually got the power. We have the waste to energy plant has come online first. So the waste to energy plant came online last year. And so the transit system will only start being built this year, but that will only take 2 to 3 years to complete. Again, it's a lot easier to build things in Khon Kaen than it is to build things, mega developments in Bangkok. So and we've been experimenting with other ideas as well, so things like the e-bikes idea, and we've also been developing smart transport through the use of cameras, which are smart cams, which monitor the traffic. So we have other things coming online. In terms of smart health, we're moving in the direction of sensors. So the elderly can have panic sensors, so they can, if they're having a health problem, right?
To attach with their body?
Yes.
Also.
So this is a wearable sensor. So this is
too details. I mean, I think this is very, very wise to look after each and every corner of the things what are happening.
Yeah. So the main aim is transit-oriented development.
You mentioned about budgeting. So I wonder, because this is not going to use the totally depends on the people here, not the government at all, not the central government at all.
No,
100%.
100%.
Wow.
You know why? Because we have learned, we have researched that it is if we rely on their budget, we have to do it their own way, which may not be responsive to the local need and may not solve the local problem. So it's better that we become financially autonomous, self-sufficient, self-reliant.
How many business people will have to join?
They create what I call a corporate, try to seek loans and invest in this, and looking at the projects, at the initial project as a business investment. Of course, it's not going to make any profit but they hope, and we all hope that this is the initial stage where it has the impacts on other aspects. If we are not succeed in this project, we will not be able to solve the other problem within the city.
That can be example for others. Other cities
success
also
will breed success. So we really do put a lot of determination and investment into this project.
How about the benefits? The benefits of the smart city of the people. What
you can see is if you can get a smart city to work through things like public-private partnerships where there's co-ownership from citizens. So citizens have the right to buy shares, and they have preferential rights to buy shares in the corporation. Citizens also are involved through civil society or at the individual level in the environmental health impact assessments. Citizens are consulted by the mayor. Citizens can feed in information through a citizen app. So what you see is a benefit in terms of how to make decentralization work in Thailand. So how to give local cities their own ability to create more autonomy and local democracy for citizens. Now this is important in the bigger picture of Thailand, because Thailand, like we've been saying, is a very highly centralized state. And although Thailand has passed a Decentralization Act back in 1999. This was unable to meet its targets for fiscal decentralization. So there's this problem that central government doesn't trust local government. So local government in Thailand has to get smarter in order for central government to have the confidence to be able to let local governments drive forwards their own future. So this is why smart governments are so important in Thailand in terms of the quality of democracy, especially local democracy.
Okay. So any concern, challenges, sir?
Well, I think the bigger challenge for any smart city in Thailand is, as John mentioned, that Thailand is a highly centralized state, and that may really not supportive of what the local people are trying to do because of the lack of clear understanding of the need and the culture of the local. So this could be a big challenge, But I think if Thailand adopt, or I should say, observe the Decentralization Act more strictly, our country may move much faster.
So we wish you all the best, gentlemen, for whatever you are undertaking.
Thank you.
We're ending up our program with thanks to Associate Professor Pirasit Kumnuansil. He's the founder and former Dean of the College of Local Administration, Khon Kaen University, and Dr. John Draper, Director of the Research Group of Local Affairs Administration and Smart City Development. Thank you so much. ขอบคุณค่ะสวัสดี